I can't hear her.
She's not saying anything.
Can you hear me?
I didn't hear her like giggling. Oh, there we
you go.
No,
Yeah.
I wasn't.
Yeah.
Usually I can hear her breathing, but
So,
okay, I'll need a couple minutes. I'll be right back.
can you hear me? Last week was perfect.
Huh?
You're laggy.
Not
Last
anymore.
week
Not
perfect.
anymore.
This week is
Not this week.
suck and win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you change your position? Are you in a different place of the house
I didn't break out the new.
compared to where your router is?
No, my kids
Have
home.
your rabbit ears
Probably
like
watching.
aimed properly? Oh,
Ah.
Boot
there
him
goes
off.
your there goes your bandwidth.
Okay. Well, since your bandwidth is crippled, I will host things off. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Slamfire Radio. This is episode 508 for May 24th, 2023. I'm one of your hosts, Kelly.
I'm one of your hosts, Adriel.
I'm one of your hosts, Dave.
And I'm El Jefe.
Nice.
There we go.
Yeah.
Well done. Everyone followed the lead. We did it. We
Yeah.
got through that. Yeah. It's
Did.
very good.
It didn't
It's very
take too
smooth.
much prompting either.
No,
Pretty
very
good.
smooth.
I'm impressed. We may be
Yep.
getting the hang of this after 508 episodes.
Yeah,
And when it's disorganized, when we're not supposed to be doing it that way, when we're supposed to be doing it, we're great. When we're don't follow, when we're following the rules, we screw it up.
Always not follow the rules. I think that's what we've learned today.
Correct.
Solid plan. I like it.
Correct.
I like it. Yeah.
All right. Well, why don't we get into what we did in guns? Kelly, your internet's coming through fine. Why don't you start?
Is it really?
Do it quick.
All of a
Go,
sudden.
go.
My kid
Let's-
must not be playing video games upstairs. So what did I do in guns this week? Last weekend, I spent the weekend up at a new club for us, Beachburg, Ottawa River Sportsman Club. That's what it is, up in Beachburg, Ontario. We had
that is.
first time. So you probably knew a couple of the shooters were at the shoot as well. They tend to hang out at Milk Guns. So great people. Give a shout out to Chantal Levine and Rick Bergen. We had it was a smaller event. However, it was a mighty event. Out of the 8 adults that were shooting, 7 of them scored riflemen, and 1 of them became one of our new elite. I gotta get that actually. Give me a second. So we have for this year, starting this year, we have our these elite riflemen. Yeah, rockers that you'll get a rifleman. You'll get a rifleman patch, and if you score 240 or more, you'll get an elite rifleman patch to go, a rocker to go underneath the vest. So we had one of those for the first time this year. So
Now, do people who have previously scored 240 or higher, can they request one of those?
No.
they can come and shoot again. It's not retroactive. Please read
Can't-
the rules and regulations on Project Maple Seed.
Not that I
So
did
can a
it.
person mail order their MQT?
Are you going to mail
No,
order
it's
an
not
RO
the
to
shoot.
watch you while you shoot it?
Well, I could
Yeah.
video the whole thing and everything. Like,
It is 2023. We
You
are
gotta
working remotely.
We have to come down there and shoot with you. So, in true Maple Seed fashion, it poured the whole entire day. And at 5:00, when we were starting to pack up everything, it came out nice, bright, and sunny. And that's when the black flies and the mosquitoes descended upon us in droves. So
Nice.
it was awesome. Yeah. Really good shoot, though. It was lots of fun. We had 2 youth shooters on the line as well. They were fantastic. They hung out the whole entire day. They shot at the targets that we had. We had some fun reactive targets as well as zombie
Oh, cool.
turkeys, chickens.
Dang.
And they killed it. They were literally shivering and their hands were pruny, and we're going, do you want to take a break? They're going, no, we want to shoot. So it's really good to see.
Good call.
Kelly, I've never had a maple seed where it's rained all day. I've only had like at most like an hour of rain at any of the ones we've run. Kind of in a rain
Nope.
shadow though, Rocky Mountains.
No. Yeah. Most of ours, if it's raining, it's pouring on us. So
I've been
it
at
could have
3
been
and
worse.
it's rained at 2. And
Yeah.
it was soggy the other one.
Yeah, whenever I look at the pictures, it always looks like people are just like "Meh." Sitting in the
miserable.
rain suits on. This is life.
It was lots of
Not
fun
many.
this weekend, though. Again,
Nice.
just want to give a shout out to Rick Bergen and also Chantel Levine for hosting us. It was awesome. Yeah, that's it. That's all. Got some more Ontario events, by the way, that are going to be posted this week. So keep an eye out for that.
I'm on the waiting list for Blue Mountain. Come on, somebody drop out.
Okay. Well, you do know somebody who's going
Do
to be
I?
the shoot boss. So
Do I know Shoot Boss? Okay.
yes,
Maybe.
Okay.
Mhm.
So I'll just show up.
yeah, I can make it happen.
Okay.
The other thing is today's the last day for our CCFR Gunny Girl call out. So if you know any Gunny Girls, or if you are a Gunny Girl, or if you identify as a Gunny Girl, go and
Oh.
apply for it.
All right then.
So that's it. Okay, that's it for me. What about you, Adriel?
I didn't do any shooting. I went camping. Did the whole like May long weekend camping thing. Some tent trailering. It's smoky AF out here in Alberta due to fires everywhere, everything burning. But we got a little bit of rain, so maybe things won't be as smoky. Maybe, probably not. It's
Our
probably gonna-
sunsets here have been lovely, by the way. Thank you, Adriel. We
Oh,
appreciate
you're
it.
welcome. You're welcome. Yeah, it's very hard to breathe out here, but at least your sunsets look good. I can't show it because I bagged it for tomorrow, but I put an MRA Maple Ridge Armory 9mm break on that high point. I have one. It was new in the package. It was new. Their enhanced muzzle device, 9mm. It's a big bad break with a bunch of gills on it that aren't going to do anything because like 9mm, by the time it gets to the like muzzle, there's not very much pressure behind that that gas, so that's not going to do very much other than make it louder. I put a 6-24 scope on it. I am going to accuracy test it this maybe tomorrow, depending on how much time we've got left over after the fun shoot. Maybe tomorrow or maybe this weekend. I'm not sure.
You know what the funny thing is? We're laughing
Mhm.
at the thing. We're calling it stupid. I made fun of it for like an hour straight, and you're going to shoot it. It's going to be like sub MOA all day, I bet.
I have my doubts.
Yeah.
The plastic
Same.
plastic top rail is not looking good.
I mean, until
But-
it falls apart.
maybe we'll see.
So
We'll
like
see.
by noon.
We'll see. I removed the front and rear sight, and that lower pick rail that was bent, it just comes off. So I removed that as well. Now
That's
it,
handy.
yeah, it looks like less ugly right now. That's not saying much though. It's still pretty ugly.
But it's plastic. Why didn't you just bend it back?
Or just take it off, because why do you need a tiny little bit of like plastic pick rail underneath the barrel where it's going to get hot and melty? And yeah. Did I put that in there?
What?
F the government. It seems like something I would put in there.
Yeah, it
Is
does.
this
It also-
FU
it
San
also-
Diego?
It does sound like a few people.
Dave.
We'll get into that later. Once we're 30 minutes in on a YouTube video, then you can swear as much as you want. Or we
that
can
the way it
swear
works?
before
Is
and
this-
just don't worry about monetization.
Is this true?
I don't know.
Well, it's an
Why are you
AI.
saying that?
It's an algorithm. No one knows how it works. So
Any
it might be.
kids? If there's any kids listening, just mute it for a second. Fuck. Okay, there we go. Let's see. We'll find out. So we gotta test it out.
It's like a scratch
what's
on
the
your car.
disclaimer?
You gotta get that first one out of the way.
Yes, Kelly?
You do recognize we haven't gotten any complaints. Is that me?
I'm gonna
Or is that
infer that
Adrian?
meant we haven't had any complaints about swearing so recently. So yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
I swear every once in a while. If this was
Like an
like in
adult.
real life, I'd be swearing more, especially about these things. But we'll wait for the news for that. And then I registered for the Thursday night fun shoot at Sherwood Park. So they're doing. I don't actually know what it is. They said bring a rimfire or pistol caliber something. So I'm gonna bring my pistol and the high point. And
There you
maybe that 6-24 scope will come in handy, or maybe
What
it
is
won't.
it?
What is what?
What is it? Is it steel or is it?
I don't know. I'm gonna
Okay.
bring a handgun.
It's
I'm gonna
made
have
of
some
steel.
fun. I don't care. Stuff doesn't bother
So
me.
when it was
Whatever it is.
So when it was cut out, I wanted to say that we haven't gotten any complaints about language like F bombs, but we have gotten complaints about us using starters and the
Using
volume of
what?
that not well. So I think that
Starter. Oh, the
Oh,
beeping.
the shot timers. Yeah.
Shot
Yeah.
timers. Yeah. Mhm.
so
Indeed.
So, shot
timers.
I won't use any timers on air anymore.
Oh,
Or
we could
if I
start the
do-
podcast with one. Beep.
Yep.
Are you ready? Podcasters ready.
That's a speaker test. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's got the
Or I could
volume.
levelate the show because I stopped doing that a while back because the audio, in my opinion, it sounds better not levelated. But I don't know if people complain too much, I will start doing that again. So I'm registered for that. I'm gonna go to that tomorrow.
Okay.
I will. I might take my
internet sucks.
youngest son because my oldest broke his leg, so he's not going to be going anywhere.
Is there at least a good story?
Not really.
Mm.
No.
Make up a good story.
Yeah.
That's what I told him. and
Skateboarding.
He's just not doing very well at making up a good story. So, well, he'll have to make up a better one. Anyways, that is me. I might be hitting the range this weekend. What's that? Huh? Kelly?
My internet's sucking wind.
Kelly is located on the International Space Station.
should
so there is a
disable your
slight
video.
delay.
Disable your video, Kelly. Maybe that'll help. You just need to scrimp and scrounge those upload bits. Dave, how about you? What have you been up to recently?
Well, I'm kind of curious about something. So I've been reading a lot of anti-gun posts and some hilarious anti-gunners say the darndest thing. And I've noticed that when I'm reading anti-gun posts, they have a weird fascination with other people's genitalia, all the time. It's the weirdest thing. So since Kelly's on tonight, I wanted to ask Kelly if because she owns guns, she finds that her penis is too small.
Yeah, you know what? I really do. I have these conversations with people all the time, stating that I have a hard time finding my penis because apparently that's all that gun owners have. That, it's a replacement for, or because their penis is too small. So I can legit say, yes, I cannot find my penis, and therefore I have to have guns to replace said not being able to find penis.
Gotcha. So de facto, this is actually a problem for gun owners. So just the female ones, though. So there is actually some biological females ones. So there is actually some truth to this thing. So, okay, cool. I just wanted to check with you, Kelly. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay. Had a lovely plinking day at Borden last weekend. It was awesome. Weather was perfect. It was great. Going to be volunteering up at East Gray near Meaford for Range Day on June 3rd. So I'm really excited about that. I volunteered to help out on the Pistolo range. So I'm going to bring my shiny new optic Glock and my Shadow and my GSG 22. So that'll be fun. And I bought a set of plates. So we talked about these extant level 3+ plates. So they were on sale, but they're relatively expensive at AI Tactical. So I picked up a set of them, and holy crap, plates are heavy, man.
Yeah.
I forgot how much even the silicon ceramic plates weigh. They're, I don't know, they say 5.5 pounds on their site, but I looked at the certification test, and the guys that tested them said 7 pounds, so I have to weigh them. But you throw these in the plate carrier and go for a run, man, that's some weight. But I always wanted a pair, so they came, 2 front and back, and they're quite nice. They've got a nice anti-spall, anti-wear on the back of them and around the edges, so nothing's going to get bumped or banged around. And they're very shiny on the front, and they've got a shiny sticker on them right there. They fit in my plate carrier real nice, and they came with a, if you buy 2, you pay a couple bucks more and you get a fake Pelican case with them as well, which is quite nice for when you're not wearing them. And yeah, I'm quite happy. I've always wanted a set of plates, so for that price, what the hell, why not? And that's it. Kyle, what have you been up to?
Oh, well, I went and shot the local USPSA match on Saturday. And Crystal shot it as well, and Buddy Carey shot his second match ever. So it was a good day. It started out raining as we were setting up, but then it stopped raining pretty much when it was time to start shooting. So yeah, turned out to be good. I shot like crap. I was not very happy with how I shot at all. But I think I'm actually either anticipating the muzzle rise or I'm actually pulling the trigger too hard. And because all my shots, I was hitting low, so I had some mics, some no shoots, and there was actually a lot of single-handed shooting, it just ended up being one of those matches where there was a lot of single-handed shooting. There was one stage where we had to do weekend, actually 2 stages that we had to do weekend, I think. And Crystal shot as well. She shot good, but we gotta work on her grip. I'd like to try and find like an 11-pound recoil spring for that Zev, but I was looking at my Glock and it doesn't look like that recoil spring will work because she's got a really loose grip, and that Zev likes a very firm grip for it to cycle. So it was actually really funny because she got on a stage where it was single hand only, and it cycled perfect. When she shot it single hand, it cycled perfect. But as soon as she got that second hand there, it was like limp wristing, and yeah. So yeah, she towards the end she was starting to get her grip down better. It's just some time, and she shot really good, and she was really happy because she didn't place last. So
Nice.
And that was her second match ever. And my buddy Kerry, his second match ever, and he's improving every time he comes out. He improves really good. So yeah, trying to decide what I'm going to do this weekend because there is a USPSA match in Roswell, and I actually have to be in Roswell later that day for a work function. Or there's a NSCA sporting clay match in Artesia, which is actually on the way to Roswell. But
Gonna be a busy day then.
well, the USPSA, that's the thing. Down here, we were done but shooting by noon on Saturday.
Oh,
Shotgun match. Can you actually hit
and
all
we
3
set up
events?
that day. Like we set up in the morning, showed up at the range 7 o'clock, set up, shot, and we had a really good turnout. We had 19 shooters here, and yeah,
20 bays.
we were done shooting by noon.
How many bays did you set up?
4 bays and 5 stages.
Yeah. How did you RO it? Did you or how many squads did you run? 4?
We ran 2 squads.
2 squads. Huh. Yeah.
So we had basically Bay 1 was its own stage. Bay 2 had 2 stages on it. One was a classifier, and then we had Bay 3 and 4 with their own. So we put a squad on Bay 1 and a squad on Bay 3.
Mm-hmm.
And they were just finishing up the classifier so we had to wait for them a little bit, but then they were done the match before we were done. And yeah, we were done by noon, which was really weird. I kind of said to everyone there, it's like, well, I'm usually used to, it's an all day event.
Mm-hmm.
Cleaning up in the dark.
Yeah. Even the shoot in Artesia, it's a bigger one. It's 200 targets, so that will be like an all day event to shoot that for sporting clays. So I might end up doing Roswell and go tour around, get some alien viewings done or whatever.
Probing.
And yeah.
Get your
I'll try to
probing
stay
done.
away from the probing. But
People show up for matches. They're dressed as aliens.
yeah, but Crystal will shoot that one as well, and yeah. And I finally registered for USPSA Multi-Gun Nationals, which is in July. So
Where's that at?
that's in Forest Lake, Minnesota.
Oh, a bit of a drive.
20-hour drive, yeah.
Jeez, dude.
But still,
yeah.
That's a weekend trip.
Yeah. Well, yeah, it'll be more than a weekend trip, but yeah, I'll probably just take the following week off. I don't know. I'll figure out how I'm going to work that because, yeah, drive up there, shoot the match, drive back, and then the following weekend we have a steel challenge or an outlaw steel match here in town. But I've never been to USPSA Multi-Gun Nationals. It's a little closer for me now. And they have they actually have an actual 3-gunner as the match director this year. So I wanted to show
Cool.
support and try and make it up there.
Well, plus you're on the right side of the border now, so that makes it
Yeah.
easier. And you got an AR, so that's
Well,
good.
speaking of AR, I got to hurry up and finish building that now. So you're muted, Adriel.
Yeah, just take an hour with a beer and it's done, right?
Well, I got to get parts, and the parts I want to put on there are expensive.
So put cheap parts
Well,
in there.
I think what I'm going to end up doing is just ordering a full completed upper from Arrow. I have a few parts here, like my JP barrel that I can throw on. I'll just rob a buttstock off one of my ATRS rifles and buffer, and at least be able to get it running, and then upgrade it later on.
Cool.
I was going to say, if they weren't prohibited or controlled, I'd send you my IUR upper. You'd use it for a while, but never mind.
I have an upper here from my AR that I surrendered the lower on, but I'm a stickler. I want it to match and everything. Yeah, I'm picky, I guess.
Get yourself a nice latte and a man bun.
And no, I cut the hair off, so no man buns. But so I just gotta get that AR finished building and get some actual real training in. So
cool.
Nice.
But yeah, that's it for me.
All right. When we talk about upcoming events, first, join Mapleseed. Go to mapleseedrifleman.com/events to find events in your area. Instead of just saying that, why don't I just pull it up? Wouldn't that be easier? Present, share screen. That one. There's the website, and go to the events and give Google Sheets a second to load in the background. Maybe more than a second. It's not made to be a website, but it's coming. As it's coming, you can also find a 3-gun match at 3gun.ca. So we've got a couple of matches set up there. EOSC we mentioned before. National Range Day is coming up. That's going to be June 3rd this year because that's the first Saturday of June. A little bit of news about that in just a minute. But check your local range for events. And if you can, volunteer for it. So you can, your local range can help host more events. In terms of maple seeds, in Saskatchewan, there's the Valley Trails Wildlife and Saskatoon Wildlife Federation coming up. BC's got an event in 100 Mile House, sold out. Interesting, cool. New Brunswick's got Kent Co. Gun Club in Bouctouche. One in Winnipeg coming up. Everything else is going to be sold out until maybe Niagara. Maybe Niagara won't be sold out, but not for long. Because all those Ontario ones sell out really quick. Dave, do you want to cover that ORA event there?
Yeah, Ontario Rifle Association on Saturday, June 3rd at Borden. We've got a 100-yard rifle, CQB, now called CQC, which is pistol and rifle, or these days just rifle, 10 yards back to 35 yards, and NSCC pistol in the early afternoon. So 3 matches in one day. So come on out and shoot all kinds of stuff all day. It's awesome. And then on Sunday, you've got a precision sniper rifle going on at Borden as well. And you can find those on Practice Score. If you search for ORA and Ontario, you'll find them. Or go to OntarioRifleAssociation.com, click on events and calendar.
Cool. Richard's asking, any maple seeds going to happen at Stittsville this year? I think that's a question for you, Kelly. Okay, yeah.
Richard, why are you driving all the way to Stittsville? Let's be real. Yes. So Stittsville events are going to be posted probably in the next day or two. There was some confusion from them, so I contributed to that confusion. So I was speaking with them on the phone today. I'm going, what the heck's going on? So we solidified a couple of things, and yeah, there was some miscommunication. I also called the general manager. I was calling to speak with them, and I said, "Is Matt there?" And he's going, "No." And I'm going, "Okay." I said, "Is this? I must have the wrong number." He goes, "You calling Stittsville Rangers?" And I said, "Yes." And I said, "Matt's not there?" And he goes, "No." I'm going, "Oh yeah, your name's Will." And I'm going, I have no idea why I'm calling you Matt.
Matt's not here, man.
So, seriously, I said, I'm so sorry. I don't know why I called you Matt. It was a brain fog part. So I gave him permission to call me some other name. I said, think of something good.
Kelly. Just call me the other Kelly.
Yeah. Well, we have those. We have another Kelly.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the get into the news. This first one, when I saw the title, I'm like, I've never heard of this. But then as soon as they said which gun manufacturer, I was like, oh yeah. Should have just said HK, not like gun maker. German gun maker. What German gun? Oh yeah, HK.
Okay.
HK dipped their toe into the identity politics, and then they're like, "Whoops!"
I think somebody who worked at HK did that. HK did not. They were quite empathetic, or I don't know what the word is. They really said it was not them. Basically, mistakes were made, and I think people were perhaps fired.
Yeah. Something about like, I don't know, bikini gun models or something like that.
Yeah, and then it turned out apparently somebody was saying, and I got to go look this up. It was on another news article that the media, it's at the bottom of that one actually. They revealed that the marketing manager behind the tweets, who was complaining about women being made bikini models for gun manufacturers, had at one time been a bikini model. I don't know.
Yeah, just find something to be outraged about.
Yes.
That's the small thing to be outraged about.
So
I'm a
tell
little
me,
bit-
John, who's outraged about this?
No one.
The internet.
So
The
the internet.
Yeah.
So is it which part of the internet? Is it the women or the men, or the men saying about the women?
Well,
Or
okay, so HK said like this is not a good thing using like bikini models for guns, but then like it was very hypocritical, not only for the marketing manager who did it, but for HK themselves, because HK is engaged in this fairly recently. There's HK gun babes at some of the things that they've done, and it's something that they do as well. So they said, whoops, actually, we're just not going to engage in identity politics ever again. That was a mistake, and we're not going to do that. So
people need
Sounds
to
like a
stop
good
it.
plan.
I think generally when you're involved in business, I mean, it seems to me that keeping your pie hole shut is probably the best thing, but then people get mad at you for not taking a side. So I feel kind of bad for some business people because you're kind of hosed. Like if you work at some businesses that have like a lot of real left wing, like art based and humanities and stuff, what do you do? What do you do? You got to pick who you make mad, I guess, because people will be mad if you don't make a stand on stuff, and people will be mad if you do. And to me, just
FYI,
build your product.
everybody will be mad about something. You cannot please everybody.
no,
Mhm.
the correct
Most
move
people.
for business is to not have an opinion on these kinds of things.
Correct.
Like
That's
HK
my
makes
general
guns.
opinion.
Why do they care about this matter? It shouldn't be something that even comes up. And the fact that so many companies are doing it right now is going to bite some of them in the ass pretty hard.
Yeah, what's that? ESD, EDS? What the hell is that?
It varies depending on who's doing it. But let's move on to the next bit, which is more infuriating. The people of Canada observe the first Friday in June of every year as National Day Against Gun Violence. This was just announced today. It coincides with another event.
National Range Day.
National Range Day.
Yeah.
They're just trolling. They're
Well, and I
trolling.
thought they had just did June 3rd, not that they proclaimed first
So,
Friday. Okay,
I-
first Friday. Okay.
Not the first Friday. What about December 6th is Memorial for Polly. However, it is also declared National Day of Mourning for gun violence.
Was it? Oh,
But
I
if
thought
you
it was
had
just-
second morning of National
Well,
Day
what
Against
about
Gun
second
Violence.
morning of violence?
I don't mean to laugh,
And what about third?
but it's ridiculous.
Okay.
Somebody did point out it's 6 months later, so you gotta keep people enraged about this stuff at least a couple times a year.
So December 3rd, are we having another National Range Day Part 2?
Fighting fire with fire. I like
December 5th.
it. Let me make some of our listeners mad. I'm gonna read some of the proclamations from this thing.
Who the hell's doing this proclamation?
That is Liberal Party of Canada through the Governor General of Canada, but the Liberal Party of Canada, the federal government, is the ones that came up with this. Kind of out of left field. I hadn't heard of anything, and they just made this. So I'm going to read these proclamations out. Holy crap! Whereas Canadians are concerned about gun violence and have a desire to ensure that their communities are safe, whereas gun violence has a devastating impact both physically and psychologically on victims, families, and communities in Canada. Whereas Canadians are looking to the government of Canada to tackle the issue of gun violence and its impacts on victims, families, and communities by further addressing those impacts and the underlying causes of gun violence. Whereas it is important to increase awareness of firearm-related laws and regulations and the causes and risks that lead to gun violence. Whereas this important work requires continued collaboration with victims, families, community members, and governments in order to take a stand against gun violence. What we proclaim today is like National Day Against Gun Violence.
I am just glad that they finally got rid of the National Day for gun violence. That was terrible.
I love that day. Wasn't that day the
That's called the Purge.
Yeah, Purge Day. Yeah. Gun and other violence day. Like,
Yeah.
Everyone loved that day. I don't know why they got rid of that one.
It's so ridiculous. And it does really seem like it's trolling. I mean, there's 365 days a year, and they picked the one just before National Range Day. F you guys.
No, it is on Range Day.
No, that
Day.
says first Friday and Range Day is first Saturday.
Oh, I thought it was
Friday.
June 3rd, though.
No.
It's the
No?
first Friday.
Yeah, that's where I got confused
This one
because
is-
you had said
okay,
June
go-
3rd.
Yeah.
Go up to the top.
Yeah, first Friday.
Proclamation.
first June.
Friday, first Friday of every year is National Day Against Gun Violence.
Yeah.
So we follow that up with a good time the next day at the good range.
It's
Yeah.
a layup
Yeah.
for us.
Yeah.
Hey, the day before, think about, how crappy our justice system is doing and how they're like catching and releasing all these people who turn out to go murder people afterwards. And then the next day, go to the range and have some fun.
Yeah.
I like it.
There's
Yeah.
some trigger therapy for that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, the funny thing is, it's the gun groups, the pro-gun groups, that are the most against gun violence. So that seems, yeah. Anyway,
Mm,
the
Like,
anti-gun groups aren't
there
against
was
violence.
No pre-thought to this whatsoever. No, actually, there was. Like, they
Oh, yeah.
definitely. Like,
Pretty petty.
Yeah,
On
this
a
is-
scale of like 1 to 10, this is like a 9 for pettiness.
like the Liberal Party went from they were in like first grade, now they've gone to preschool.
Mhm, mhm.
yeah.
How
So-
about the day before your day, the day against your day.
Yeah.
I'll make you pay for it.
Yeah.
I'm going to bet $9. Alex? Oh, well, I'm going to bet that it's $8.
people who are listening to this
I can't bet
podcast
it.
right now are going, "What the hell are they talking about?"
It's pretty petty, and
Yeah.
I'm pretty mad about paying tax dollars to fight against myself. I'm pretty mad about that.
You've been
I don't
doing it
like-
all this year. Hello.
Yeah, but this is pretty pointed. Like no one on the anti-gun side is like, you know what, we really need to make a day for this kind of thing because they already had like a bunch of days. So now this is just like just another petty.
I wonder if Paulie is
Awesome.
thinking they're stealing their thunder.
No one's gonna do anything about that. How do you observe the National Day Against Gun Violence? How do you observe this?
I suggest that the vast majority of the 2.4 to 2.5 million legal gun owners engage in this day against gun violence by continuing not to shoot anyone as they have done throughout the year.
I think that's the biggest way you can, support it. It's
Yeah.
not shooting anyone.
Yeah, and maybe we can convince all the gang members and criminals and all those other people just not to kill anyone on that day.
I don't know how like into public holidays they are though. Especially, it's not even a holiday; it's just like a proclamation.
But what if we ask? What if we ask nicely and we had you read it in a British accent?
And
Right?
declare it
Yeah.
in prison? Just be like, "Yo, everyone! For anyone who's going to be out there,
Yo. Y'all getting out tomorrow on bail because you've only been in here overnight for ganking some guy? Don't shoot anybody tomorrow because it's the day against national gun violence.
true, that'll work excellent."
Yes.
Okay, so this is
Love
silly.
it.
And not gun related, but there was the investigation into election interference. They've investigated themselves and they found nothing of value. No issues. No public inquiry required. There is no war in Ba Sing Se.
No, I found
Why?
that one very interesting, and I've decided that if I ever get arrested for anybody, I have a buddy who's a judge. I am going to insist that he is the one who oversees the trial.
If you know a judge, I think that's the way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Just to ensure that there is an unbiased person there to judge me fairly.
The most unbiased.
Someone knows that who knows you and your true intentions, your true self.
Hopefully they've gone skiing with you. Maybe they're
Next door neighbor
serving
of
on
some
your
sort?
board where you connect,
Yeah.
other
Yeah.
people to high-paying
Yeah.
positions, and maybe
Maybe
you could give
swore
them
you
some
in.
high-paying positions.
Some
Maybe
lunch
swore you in.
dates.
Some lunch dates, some play dates with your kids.
Yeah.
I'm enjoying the coverage on this whole thing because National Post, especially, they've been pointing out that, David Johnson went to a retired judge to ensure that, there was no conflict of interest and it was cool. And the retired judge who sat on the board of the Pierre Elliott Trudeau Foundation said, no, you're good. There's no conflict of interest. And I'm like, is there anybody in Canada who hasn't worked for that foundation? Anyone?
The thing is, you can't even make that up.
Right? It's almost like The Onion took over Canada and just no one noticed. And they're like, let's just write some crazy shit and just see if anyone says anything. And no one has. It's the best thing.
Yeah, you expect some level of like corruption at that level of government, but not to be hit like this is like hitting you in the face with a fish, like obvious,
Yeah.
like just getting slapped, and it's
They're not even hiding it.
yeah,
They're not
Yeah.
even like if this was Europe, and I was having this discussion with somebody, a friend of mine said, if this was Europe and they tried any of this, their parliament buildings would get burned down. Like if
Well,
this was in France, they'd have the guillotines out. Like
they
I don't
ride
know.
on a good day. You try to
I
change
know,
their
but
retirement
still.
date by like 2 years, and they're riding. But I do think the Overton window on like what's acceptable has shifted considerably because
Huge.
people resigned not that long ago for expensive stuff, such as expensive orange
Glass of
juice.
orange juice.
Yeah, and that wasn't that long ago. And now our premier went to bat for a corrupt company for corruption, and then fired people when they didn't like go to bat for the corrupt company. SNC Lavalin is what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then we have this stuff like this where it's like, oh, there's election interference from a foreign country, and the prime minister hired his buddy that can get him off, and of course he gets him off. And it's like,
And the problem with that is, it's to me, it's mind blowing that they look at that and they don't say, we shouldn't put this guy in charge of this investigation, because even if everything's 100% above board and there was absolutely nothing to be found, which we know is bullshit, but let's just assume no Chinese interference, nobody knew anything, no one saw anything, no one said anything, etc., etc. When your buddy's the one telling the public that based on evidence that he's not allowed to show anyone else, no one's going to believe him except the people that were supporting him. So the Trudenon people are going to be going, see, there's no evidence, and absolutely everybody else is going to go, what the fuck? Like, WTF.
yeah,
Like you've got that no matter what you do, if you clear him because you're his buddy, and you should have known better to not take this. So David Johnson should not have taken this job, obviously. And it blows my mind that everyone involved just goes, yeah, it's all good.
well, like you're saying, like it would come through better if they had appointed someone who's a little bit more neutral, and then they did the thing, and then they came out clear. And I think like Ty is just mentioning on Facebook there that Johnson was appointed by Harper, and that is true. But like that, I would say that like things change. One of the things that's changed since, like, for example, a lot of the pro-China stuff that Harper brought in was 15 years ago, and the general global strategy back then was, let's make them prosperous, and then they'll lose this authoritarian bend that they have, and it didn't work. It went the opposite way. We didn't know that 15 years ago that strategy wouldn't work. We know that right now, right? And so you can't judge like past decisions with current information, and I think that that one is exactly. You can look at that and say, well, that yes, he was appointed by Harper in the past, but that doesn't mean that he's like bulletproof and completely perfect for this job.
No, and even if you got a perfect reputation, given his past with Trudeau, if it was me and I was him, now maybe I'm all corrupt and don't, love the smell of my own farts and can't see that I've ever done anything wrong like him. But he should have been smart enough with his experience just to go, I can't accept this job because there's a conflict of interest. And no matter what I rule, it will have the appearance of not being cool with the public. So thanks for the offer. That's awesome. But find somebody different.
I just don't think they care about that part anymore. They're at the point in the government right now where the appearance of it, they just have to go through the motions. They don't actually have to make it not a conflict of interest. They have to just go through the motions.
Have you guys ever seen the movie? What the hell was it? Moon over Ecuador or something like that? It's Moon over something. Moon over Paraguay, maybe. But it's a corrupt government. The guy in charge of the government gets murdered, so they find some actor and they put him up in place, and then it turns out he's actually really good at the job. And partway through the movie, they're having an election, and there's two guys in the street, and they're like, oh, that we've got this election. This is great. We have our choice for dictator. Are you voting Eduardo Red or Eduardo Blue? And the guy's like, oh, I think I'm going Eduardo Red this time. So it's the same guy. You just get to pick a color associated with him. And we're almost at that point where it's so ridiculous. Like, when I look at this stuff, I honestly wonder how people aren't burning down Ottawa. Like, this is insane. It's crazy. I don't know if people are just so burned out. They're just like, whatever. I don't care.
No, I think some people see it as like just a necessary evil, where they're like, I think he's like corrupt, but I like some of his policies, and therefore it's okay that he's corrupt. Whereas the rest of us who are like, don't like any of his policies, don't like any of it, like every single bill he's come out with, I'm like super against.
Yeah, they're all terrible.
And he's corrupt on top of it. So like that's just a little fly in the ointment on top of it, right? It's even worse. So. I think that dunking on, like we've talked about before, dunking on gun owners is a pretty easy win for the Liberals because they don't have very many gun owner constituents, so they don't have to care about them at all.
And it plays well in the city. We're doing something about gun violence, but you're not doing anything useful, but we're doing something. I actually had that discussion with somebody, and they pointed out that banning handguns won't do anything. I said, it's not going to do anything. They're like, well, it might not, but it sends a message. I'm like, sends a message? Oh, gun violence is unacceptable. What? Like, right? Like, who's going, well, gonna go shoot some people today because society's in favor of that. We're good to go. Oh, wait, now it's unacceptable. Gosh darn, I guess I'll go open an orphanage.
Chris is just asking what's so I don't want to dive too much into politics, but like there's an Alberta election coming up, and Alberta has been defending gun rights as much as they possibly can, which is not a lot, but they have been trying. He's asking what's wrong with the Alberta NDP is almost the same level as the UCP. Chris, that's only on vote. The vote efficiency in Alberta is a bit weird. And if the UCP get the same vote number as the NDP, the UCP will win. They have more of the rural areas. Their vote is more efficient. It's the same thing as like the Liberal Party has a more efficient vote for the federal elections, so they'll win even with less vote than the Conservatives. So I wouldn't worry about that too much. Take a look at 338 Canada and look at the polls there. Don't look at the popular vote. Look at the ridings and who's more likely to win. It's not even close right now. I'm not super worried about it. You guys ready to get into new gun stuff? You want to still keep talking about this?
New gun stuff's good.
New gun stuff. I think I
Let's
fixed
go.
my issues with the microphone. Did you see me?
Cool. Nice.
Yeah.
We see you, Kelly.
If not, I'll start sending up smoke signals.
Okay.
I know that's not cultural appropriation.
I was going to say, and nobody
It's
in
not.
Alberta is going to come running.
Well, we'll be able to see them.
Maybe clean air. Send up a column of clean air.
Yeah, we might notice that. Let's get into new gun stuff. So the first thing, new gun stuff is brought to you by Bullseye North. Let me figure out how to do this again. Need a new boomstick? Bullseye North is Canada's shooting superstore and a proud supporter of the CCFR with a wide selection of guns and top trending gear for any shooter. Free shipping over $200. Some exclusion apply, like ammo. Subscribe to their new weekly newsletter to get the first access to the hottest deals. And the thing that they just did recently here, no, not extra camera. Let me click on the correct thing here, is they set up a clearance section on their website. So I thought I'd just scroll through that and see if there's anything interesting in here. I don't have a Howa, and I'm glad I don't, because those look expensive in terms of magazines.
Oh wow,
that's
yeah.
I like that knife, Riki knife, 3.46. So just like this, the shape of it. They've got the Hornady 9.3 by 62 custom 2-die set. That'd be cool if you had one of those Howa, not the Howa, the what's that tractor manufacturer that also makes rifles? Husqvarna. If you had a Husqvarna 9.3 by 62, that'd be handy. And they've got a couple of cameras, some bags, some rails for your REM 700, and some more stuff. So if you want to take a look at what they've got in their clearance section, head on over to bullseyenorth.com. The next thing that I wanted to show, interesting to some of us, is Delask is making their own trigger pack for the 1022 platform with some of their parts and some parts from other manufacturers. I think Kid. I think this would be Kid, right? They got a lot of their stuff from Kid. But it's Delask. It's branded Delask. Right now, they're doing a bunch of Bren 2 conversions for... Oh, they're doing those for Marstar? I'm going to get one of those. Cool. Once they're done with all those conversions, they are going to be building some trigger packs for the 1022. I do like their bolt release because they have like this little tab that... Normally, if you get the extended mag release, it kind of shrouds the tab and makes it kind of hard to reach around and grab. Don't say that too often. This little tab makes it easier to get access to. Looks like a Gucci trigger going on there, so it's exciting. It looks aluminum too, the whole trigger housing.
I may buy one of those. I need a trigger for when I'm building.
I like it because 1022 triggers are actually like there's not that much for selection in Canada, so it'd be great to have some better selection. Next up, Duria. They are upgrading some of the TM22. I actually saw these at Maple Seed, and they didn't do too bad. One of the guys actually patched with the TM22. They are modifying them with a shorter 10-inch barrel and a couple of other things on it to make it kind of cool. So different stock on it, different barrel, and what else here? A 10-inch barrel from Green Mountain Barrel Company, one of our extended charging handles. Cool. And it is non-restricted. Neat. Nice. Neat. Yep. Cool. Kelly, have you seen one of those on the line yet? Well, there's one thing that you're going to hate. You cannot see if the safety's on from the right side. You need to rotate it every single time you clear the line just to see if the safety's on or not. Precision Optics out in BC, they've got the Gunworks Workman rifle systems in stock. This is a very fancy precision rifle setup. They have them in 300 PRC, 7mm PRC, and 6.5 PRC. These are a 22-inch barrel. They come with a scope and pretty much everything you need. Revic Workman 5 to 25 by 56 FFP with a 22-inch barrel. Trigger Tech trigger, Tally 30mm rings. They're $8,000. They are not cheap, but pretty fancy rifles there from Precision Optics. At Precision Optics, rather. Monashee Outdoors has some Federal primers. They are on location only. Pricing is reasonable compared to gun shows lately, and just 2 per customer right now. So if you're looking for some gold medal match large rifle primers, they have them. They're not cheap, but they have them. If you want cheaper, Lundero Sports has the Campro Ginex small pistol and small rifle primers, $1,000 a pack, and they're around 90 something or so. And then this is a pretty screaming deal. I got one of these. If you are looking for like a spare set of electronic earmuffs for like guests or kids or something like that at the range, get one of these. Cabela's today only because this is one of their Wild Wednesday things. They have the Emax Pro electronic earmuffs for $39 today. If you want to buy one of these, go to the slamfireradio.com, click on the link on the side, and then go buy it.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get a little kickback from that. $39 though. I had a set of these. I would say like I wouldn't run them as like a daily driver. As a daily driver, I think there's just like nicer earmuffs to run that'll have like better sound, better fit, that kind of thing. But and the microphones are on the top, so if it starts raining, they rain directly on the microphones.
Okay.
But $39. They're okay. They auto shut off, unlike some of the earmuffs out there that kill batteries. So if you want like a guest set or a set to like leave in your truck or something like that, get a set of these. They're super cheap. Yeah.
I was worried about my earmuffs I keep damaging or killing my earmuffs because of rain.
Because it rains all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Look at your little umbrella hat.
I was wondering about that on Saturday.
Are the Caldwells, are the 3M Peltors not water resistant enough to make it through the rain?
Have you been to any of my maple seeds?
I haven't
water resistant, not water.
Typhoon, so I don't know. They work fine for me.
I was gonna say my Sordens have never died, and I've pretty much had those things underwater.
They shouldn't. They're like $300.
Yeah.
They were a little more than that when I bought them. Worth the money. 100% worth the money. Oh, yeah.
I have put my Peltors through a lot of typhoons, downpours, puddles, wrung them out. They've done really, really well, but there's a limit.
There's a limit? Okay, I haven't reached
There is a limit.
We're going to skip the main topic today, unless there's something pressing that any of you want to talk about.
No, other than the fact that C21 is still being debated.
Oh, no, C21 passed.
Oh, did it?
It's in the Senate, isn't it?
It's in the Senate.
I thought it passed.
No, it's in the Senate.
Okay, I'm not really paying attention. I don't really care.
So, do you guys want to put money on whether it passes before the election gets called in the fall or not?
It will.
Yeah. Do you think it'll pass before the seat rises in June? It will.
Yeah.
They'll rush that through. It's an emergency to keep us all safe. So you got to get that stuff passed to keep Canadians safe. It's too bad they don't get it done just before National Gun Violence, Anti-Gun Violence Day, or whatever the hell it is.
You know when they're going to announce it?
Oh, Dave, you're jinxing it. They're going to do
Maybe
it.
They're going to pass it on that Friday.
Oh,
Dave,
you jinxed it.
Calling it
Dave.
right now.
No, it was your fault. They're listening. 17 viewers right now. One of them is Justin Staffer, and they're going to be like, Dave had the best idea today. We're going to pass it on the Friday.
As long as my name,
violence.
You can call it the random Dave Act.
Dave, if it does pass, please don't take this as you thinking about it. I think that they might have already thought of that.
No, I'm blaming Dave.
I have broad shoulders. I can take it. It would be funny if they did it that day, though. Wouldn't it be like perfect?
No, it wouldn't.
Well, you think about it because they generally announce gun stuff on December 6th or talk about it. So now they have another day, so they can do 2 a year. So they've only in 3 years they have passed or promoted or proposed 5 major gun legislations. Now they'll have 2 days a year. So maybe they can pack like 10 into 1 year.
Dave, shut the fuck up.
I'm with Adrian. I'm an accelerationist. Let's just go. Make it so it's ridiculous. Make it so it's just ridiculous, like it's a complete parody as it is anyway. But
we're almost there. We're so there. All right. Listener feedback. We didn't get any emails. On Facebook.
Well, we're about to get some for Dave.
After that first weekend in June, we're gonna get a lot more emails. Yeah.
And I'll still go, whoo, I was right.
Waterhole must go. I don't know what that means. Looking at other comments here. Richard's saying now you know why I go to Stittsville. It's been blazing hot and sunny 2 years in a row.
Correct.
Skeet tonight, Kelly.
No, I did not go to Skeet. I've not been able to have a work-life balance.
Hmm.
I'm surprised I'm even on tonight.
We're glad you're on tonight.
We're glad.
I am
Yeah.
too, even though my new laptop is sitting on the floor in its box still. I bought it 2 weeks ago. Haven't done anything with it. I'm using my other laptop. That's a piece of crap. And obviously, but I worked it out. Low res on the camera,
That's fine.
whatever.
Ty says make illegal guns more illegal. Criminals are going to criminal.
But really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Let's hope the liberal boat sinks to the bottom and never to float again, says Russ.
Yep. Let's hope they Kathleen win themselves.
Yeah. Chris was saying I gave my guns a talk and they got scared and they don't leave the house without me now.
Well, see,
Well, that's good.
discipline.
So I put up a thing for the National Range Day and I pulled in stuff from Maple Seeds, kids that are shooting, our Ladies' Day events, and it even slipped in an AR-15 in one of the pictures. Nobody's called me out yet. One of the ladies is shooting an AR-15. I went,
Nice. Yay, ARs.
We used to do that. Yeah.
remember
Anthony's
when that
saying,
happened? Yeah.
oh. Anthony's saying, so Friday before National Range Day is a tailgate party at the range.
I'm gonna go shooting
Yeah.
that day.
Practice good gun control.
I am.
Yeah.
I'm going to take photos and I'm going to put the little banner above it of the day to, be upset about gun
Good gun
violence, and I'm
control. You
gonna
should be, like,
I'm gonna
hitting your
stick it up
target,
on,
right?
Stick it up
Yeah.
on Facebook.
Yeah.
Yep. Everybody should post their range photos that day.
Absolutely. So my suggestion is if your range is hosting an event, post it on your Facebook, social media, everywhere, so people can go. If
Yeah.
your range is not doing one, then promote it and show different pictures why people should be doing it and post that on your social media and everywhere.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Encourage people who want to try shooting to come on out and shoot. It's going to be a blast.
And as Adriel says, volunteer.
Yeah. So if you volunteer, all you're going to be doing is like sitting in a station, helping people like do one thing. So you're going to get good at that one thing, whether it's like helping them shoot a shotgun for the first time or helping them shoot a rimfire rifle or pistol or whatever the case might be. It's great. You meet a bunch of people. You get to like be with them while they're like going through something that's like pretty fun for them and something new and exciting. And you get to the end of the day and you feel like you've made a difference and you get to go home or shoot some more, whatever.
And if there are
Fish.
people who didn't shoot before, if they were even mildly anti-gun before and they're just coming out of curiosity, they're going to have fun and they won't be anti-gun anymore.
Correct.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At
And that's
least
how
each
we
one.
win.
Yeah.
Yep.
Correct.
That's
Yeah.
how we win.
Russ is saying that Dave is right and same money to fight gangs again. Yeah.
Russ, why are you saying Dave is right?
Thank you, Russ. I appreciate your support.
All right. YouTube. Kyle, do you have the YouTube comments ready to go?
I do. We got one this week, and it was from Eddie7848, and it was in response to the Maple Seed events. That Kamloops is Central BC. It would be nice to have a Maple Seed event in Abbotsford or Chilliwack.
I think we're doing some southern ones.
Do.
Or we did.
You just have to hold tight. I was going to say something else. Be patient. We're traveling around BC. So we've had them in Abbotsford. We have also had them in Chilliwack. I know that because some of my favorite people live in Chilliwack
Oh,
and produce all Canadian made guns
oh,
and barrels.
oh.
And I think that
Very good.
just one of the things to keep in mind for Maple Seed, if you want to see Maple Seeds in your area, we need instructors in those areas. So either first thing to do, get your exec on board to have an event, reach out to Maple Seed, get an event at your range, shoot riflemen, become an IIT, and help support the events at your range so that they're easier to do and we can
Correct.
do more of them. And we can help spread it out. I think in the areas of the country where we have like a lot of instructors, we run a lot of events. In Ontario, where we run a lot. In the
Yep.
Edmonton area, we run a lot because we have lots of instructors. They're very easy to put on. The more we get done and the more instructors and shoot bosses we get established, the more of these we can do across the country.
Yeah, and the other thing is also if you want an event at your range in particular, because our events sold out quite quickly, but our events are offered, our first dibs are offered to specifically those clubs. If they want to fill the spot. So if you want to almost be guaranteed, I'm not saying you will be guaranteed a spot, almost be guaranteed. Get your range on board and host us, and we'll come to you when we can get you.
Mhm.
That's another way to get in. A little harder in Quebec. You're absolutely right, Will. There are stupid things that are happening in Quebec. So we haven't been to Quebec, although it's looking like we're trying to arrange one near the Quebec / New Brunswick border. Yeah, Rimouski. Well, it's not really the border, but it's closer to New Brunswick than Ontario. Rimouski.
Cool. Let's see. I don't know if we saw anything on Instagram or Facebook. What people bought from our Cabela's link in May, we will get that done next week. So there's an affiliate link on the side of slamfireradio.com. If you want to buy something from Cabela's, like those cheap Caldwell Emax Pro Max headphones, buy them from that link, and then we'll get a slice of the action. I have a review on those headphones as well, if you want to check it out on huntinggearguy.com. Next door supporters on Patreon and Player. So if you'd like to help to support us, head on over to Player or Patreon and help support the show. A couple bucks a month kind of a thing, and we will put it towards hosting and StreamYard fees and all the other service fees that we need to pay for. If you'd like to email the show, send an email to slamfireradio@gmail.com. Shout outs. This is just kind of
I'll shout out everybody who helped set up, and well, even everyone who showed up to shoot. We had a bunch of new shooters there on Saturday, so yeah, shout out to everyone who showed up, and especially everyone who helped set up and tear down on Saturday.
All right,
Dave? Kelly?
Every club out there that's hosting a
ORPS? No. ORA? No.
Or is only in Ontario, Kelly. Come on.
Keep going, Kelly.
right.
You got more guesses?
No. Or
National Range Day on Saturday, June 3rd.
all right.
All the volunteers.
Y'all are coming to National Capital, right? Coming to see me. Going to USC. The big
There's
gun.
a border crossing involved there, isn't there?
Hello. Yeah, but you have 11 days to plan this, or 10 days to plan it. Get up here.
I'll be doing the one in Canada. Close to my place.
I will probably hit the range that day. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll be in Ottawa.
Nice.
At USC. I have a shout out to the Kincaids for helping with the instruction at up at Beachburg. I already said Rick Bergen and Chantal Levine. Thank you for bringing us up to Beachburg and welcoming us and everything. It's a great day. Really enjoyed it. Even though I had to get up at 3 a.m. so that I could leave by 3:30 to get there. It was awesome.
Cool. I'll give a pre-event shout out to the people at Sherwood Park that are putting on the Thursday night fun shoot, because I think they do set up at like 4 or like earlier, and I gotta work, so I'll be there they have a 4 o'clock and a 6 o'clock squad. I'm gonna do the 6 o'clock squad.
You're gonna do 6?
Yeah. So shout out to all those people who set up whatever I'm shooting, because I have no idea. Whatever I'm gonna shoot with my handgun or my high point, whatever's applicable. I'll be bringing.
Must be steel.
Nice.
Sure. Yeah.
Did you put the 45-degree or red dot on that yet?
I have not. I had just got the 6-24. I actually don't have a 45 mount right now. Oh, maybe I do.
Yeah, you
No,
do. You
I
got
do.
that
I
pick
totally
rail
do.
just JB welded on the side. You just drive a wood screw through it. I don't know.
Robertson wood screw through it at 45. That's like,
it's a blowback. There's no gas or anything to screw up. So
if I do the 10 round 1911 mags, it's all or nothing. I am either fucking this gun up completely or I'm making it great. There is no in between.
Make Kel-Tec
I'm probably gonna fuck it up. because I don't know how to like. You got to make the mag fit first to get the mag in there to see if the mag fits and feeds, and I'm gonna fuck it up, but I'm gonna do
The
it.
egg.
I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
If you're gonna break some eggs to make an omelet.
I was gonna say if you mess up the stock, didn't you say a stock is like $35 or something?
If I was in the
Come on.
US, there's probably like export and ITAR and all sorts of shit that's gonna make it like $100 by the time it gets here. And I'm gonna have to work over the upper two to get the. Anyways, this is out of scope for this conversation. Join our Discord server. We are conversing. I pinged everyone over there, by the way, saying that this show was going live, just in case anyone forgot. And check us out on Gunners of Canada. Like us on Facebook. Watch us on YouTube and Player. Join the CCFR, and we'll see you next week. Good night,
See you
Mo.
next week.
Good night, Mo. Kelly's dancing for all of our listeners who aren't.